I did. Oh, I said I was back.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Joining me as always. I could. Should I do my American accent? Because you couldn't do your English accent last week. I'm joined by no one respawn in real life.
That's your American accent. You sound like you're the very south part of LA. I stand corrected. You sound like you're in Italy.
Hey, what's the matter? You don't like my accent? People have just cut off. No, that's not staying in. That's definitely not staying in.
That's 100% staying in. Hi guys, and welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast, a show where we discuss tips, tricks, and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing the game even more. What makes us different? Well, for starters, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 info, news, and opinions. We do encourage your questions and feedback. You can contact us either by email at twotitansandahunter, all spelled out, at hotmail.com, or on Twitter at twotitans_hunter, and that's the number 2. Now, on with the show.
Welcome back to Two Titans and a Hunter, where I don't know what's happened. It's just all bad. It's all gone completely off the rails. If there were any rails left, they're gone now.
Not just that, right? But
maybe
I mean,
he has taken his bed.
Obviously, he's going to ignore all this. Obviously, he's going to edit this all out. But if it was just us talking about what we're doing on here with absolutely no context and absolutely giving the listeners no clue what we're doing, then that would be pretty funny.
You're assuming this won't be the show opener, along with him going, "I am happy."
If it sounds good to me, it'll be left in.
Brilliant.
Now, I'm a bit confused about these notes. Are we starting?
No, you aren't. You aren't confused at all.
Okay. I guess you're taking the lead on this week.
I may or may not have looked at your previous notes to get the order and the flow of things, or I may not have. So it is what it is. You haven't looked
at any of the notes. You've just copied and pasted, haven't you?
I've read them all. I've edited large portions of them.
It has nothing to do with reading or not. He has if you copy pasted, dude.
well, yeah, no, I copied and pasted, but then I also edited a bunch of it out, so it's not like because Bungie tends to repeat themselves over and over.
No, I understand that
because
I normally do the notes, but what I'm saying is you haven't broken it down to like respawn bullet point. This is what we're going to read, and this is what we can kind of.
What are you talking about? There's a lot of black letters there, man. I'm a fan of the black letters.
No, I have. I've not broken it down into who does what. I'll let you guys fight over it. I figured since I talked last week for most of the show about the reading stuff, and then Respawn filled the rest of the air, we'll just let you talk this week.
I was going to say you talk the most
the entire time.
Really?
Please don't.
I figured out time zones in 4 different locations and figured out where Andy lives and how the world works. So I've done my work this week.
You've done one lot of notes, 1 week.
Ooh, someone sounds jealous. What?
No, someone sounds angry. That's angry.
No, I'm not angry. I just love the fact of we get a text like 3-4 hours ago going, we need to record the podcast now or tomorrow because I'm not going to be here.
I didn't say now.
You did say today or tomorrow, which is basically
exactly
now.
Today. Any point in time today or tomorrow.
I could have gotten some good Destiny time. But no,
you can read these notes in any order you'd like to. Really, the first 3 pages should have just said, "Has Nitedemon even played Solstice?" Let's have him talk about Solstice for the first hour straight. Go.
I'm joined this week by Peroty and no one respawns in real life. Howdy, partners. No.
That is the intro.
With
the 30-second pause afterwards. That's what you get. All right.
Oh, that's.
I think I should spend the entire podcast speaking like this.
Honestly, I think you should too.
I think you absolutely should. It would be a real honor to listen to you speak in that particular tone this entire time, sir.
All right, then. I guess this week at Bungie, on August 8, 2019, this week at Bungie, we are preparing for a mass migration of Guardians. And I don't know how I just went from British to Southern.
You had to Brexit the mighty empire, sir, and come over to the new world.
You telling the peeps about the rootinest, tootinest game in the world?
Look, he's gonna edit out like an hour of just laughing. Okay?
Oh no, Sonny. This is staying in. This is prime rib.
Prime rib, eh? All right, so who's starting us off?
It's prime. Something sounded like you were on your way there, buddy. Keep going.
All right. This October, Destiny 2 comes to Steam on August 20, 2019. Sign up to transfer your Battle.net account. All your PC progress, your Guardians, your gear, your Triumphs, everything comes with you. But, because as long as you're going to do the American, I guess he's going to try to be the Southern, and I'm going to try to be the British, I think is how this is going to work.
That's not British. That was Southern as well.
Was it? I don't know, man.
It was
Whatever.
very Southern.
I don't know.
This is why we need somebody Australian on to really just get things going.
So
No,
I'll stop doing it because otherwise it's putting you off in your reading. And that way, if you just go Southern, it's just you going Southern.
Yeah.
What is
sometimes it
the
can be
American
Elvis.
accent? I mean, at least none of us are from Boston because
It's got to be John Wayne or Elvis. I have a
that's
feeling
its
the
very
world
own
thinks that
accent.
American is either John Wayne or Americans or Elvis. It's one or the other, 50-50.
No, you have
Right.
loads of different accents.
Yeah, I know we do, but apparently the rest of the world thinks that. Oh, I'm sorry. No, there's a third. There's the ghetto, right? So we're either John Wayne, we're Elvis, or we're Tupac, right? That's the whole spectrum of American accents.
That's just your warped version of what you think the rest of the world thinks that you talk like.
Listen, that might be accurate, but I do have some feet to stand on when it comes to that because of foreign people. I obviously my wife is.
I'm
foreign.
foreign people. Your wife
Well,
is foreign.
Are you though? Yeah, my wife is one of the people that didn't know what American accents were like till she got here.
I'll forgive her for that.
Right. So,
Go again.
okay. Really? All right. So
Might be again, that's right.
This October,
698. Go.
right? This October, Destiny 2 comes to Steam on August 20th, 2019. Sign up to transfer your Battle.net account. All your PC progress, your Guardians, your gear, your Triumphs, everything comes with you. It's so easy. Even a Titan could do it. Oh,
That's all you wanted to read was just that one point, wasn't it?
I didn't even know that was there. I'll be honest with you.
That's why
And
I
they
gave
do-
it to him. That's the entire reason I was like, let's give it this respawn. He can make fun of
Yeah.
Titans like Bungie did.
Still, it was so funny the way they did that. You should have put the what at the end of it like that. You know what I mean? That would have been great. But
No.
anyway,
I was going to say,
I assume that was your ad lib, and if you can't think on the fly, it's my job to help you.
I was going to do it, but it would have been weird for anybody
it
who
look-
hasn't seen the TWAB.
do
Or
it
one
look
of you
like your
guys,
Raiders
since you
room?
guys are the Titans, right? So one of you should have chimed in, what?
no.
Do I look
Anyway.
like your writer's room?
Okay. But www.bungie.net/PC move. On August 20th, you'll be invited to begin the process of linking your PC player accounts for a smooth transition of your Guardians and all your game purchases. Destiny 2 will arrive on Steam October 1st. What does this mean? Well, it means this is a one-time transfer of all your Destiny 2 content the player already owns. This will include player accounts, Destiny 2, expansions, silver, annual pass, etc. Can you pre-order Shadowkeep from Steam? Yes, Shadowkeep is available to pre-order on Steam today. What will we find on Steam on October 1st? Current players of Destiny 2 on PC will be welcome to continue their adventure in Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, the next chapter in the story. New players will be able to take their first steps into that world in Destiny 2 New Light. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, what happens if I don't move? Your player dies. There you go. Your character. Okay.
That's not what happens.
It is what happens. Destiny 2 will no longer be available on Battle.net after October 1st. Guess what? You got nothing. Oh my God, turn your phone off. Speaking of which, I need to turn mine off.
So what I want to know is if for say instance you're away, saving the world at this point of time, and you can't get to a computer and you can't transfer from Battle.net to Steam, and October 1st comes and you're still not back, but you want to get into Destiny come October 2nd. You're back on October 2nd. What happens then? Is all your stuff kind of held in the cloud?
Yeah, that's the part where they weren't really clear. They just said you couldn't access it, but yeah, does that data go away? And honestly, the thing I think about is like for those folks who get deployed, you're playing Destiny, you're deployed for 6 months, a year, 2 years, you come back, and what happens to your game?
Yeah, that's what was.
That was
kind of thinking. Yeah,
that was a big thing that crossed my mind playing with folks who, they're here and then they're gone for a while. They sort of didn't say what happens to that. They said, you can link your characters and then unlink and move around, but since it's leaving one platform and joining another one, where does that data go in the meantime? It sounds like
if it's saved on the Bungie
and that server
servers,
gets repurposed for another game.
No, but if your character is saved on the Bungie servers, then there shouldn't be anything to worry about. But they should make that a little bit more explicit. So Bungie, if you do listen, something for you to kind of address for people that are going to be away that won't be able to transfer. What's going to happen? Is it going to be save progress that you can then log on to Steam and then just port your characters and everything across, no problem? Or is it the fact that October 1st comes, Battle.net completely shuts across, and you can't access your previous character?
They will eventually answer that question, hopefully.
Not going to happen. www.bungie.net/cross-save. Cross-save launches August 21st.
So in just a week and a half from now, cross-save goes live.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how does it work? Respawn?
Link your characters. Choose your characters. Profit. Bam! Look at that, dude.
He almost got all those words right. It was so close.
What do you mean? I did get them all right.
Link your accounts. Choose your
What did I say?
characters. And then you said link your characters. Choose your characters. Too many characters. You're the character.
Same difference. Who cares?
Yeah. So link your account. Choose your one true active account, and then you can play it anywhere.
Yep, that's correct. So, Peroty, what is cross save? What will it actually do?
So the cross save, again, not cross play, cross save. It'll enable you to choose one active Destiny player account, also known as your active account, where you can access from wherever you choose to play. Now, although this is not a permanent action, Bungie did build this feature with the idea being you would do this only once, and it would support your play on any platform you wanted to jump to. So what platforms does cross save support? All of them. You can play on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam day one, and then Stadia when it launches later this year. So
did you guys see the Stadia platform? Kind of like
does that mean I could go back and play on the Xbox 360?
Yeah.
If they're saying all of them. Because I still own a 360.
Yeah.
They said Xbox.
You should totally play a game that's not compatible with it with graphics that are subpar. 100%.
They said Xbox and PlayStation. They didn't say which ones.
Yeah.
They just said it's there. So again, does this mean I can play with players on other platforms? You can if you're on that platform. So if I take my Xbox, if my Xbox is my active account, and once October 1st hits, I can then take my new October 1st new light onto my PlayStation or onto my PC and play with all those people there. But I can't play with those folks from my Xbox. So you have to be on the same platform you're playing with the other people on. And we're hammering this point home because I confuse it in my brain. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
You're definitely the only one. This is pretty cut and dry. Yep.
Everyone tell Respawn that he's wrong. Good job.
Look, they do that anyway. They don't need your assistance or encouragement. I don't know why I said assistance. Shut up.
So does this mean I can merge my Guardians or my collections on different platforms?
Nope.
No, you cannot.
I already said that, though. That was like last month.
Yeah, you can't merge it. You have to choose one. Now, you can go between them for a time, but you still have to choose one active one. So, if you don't own it on any other platforms, can you still activate cross-save? You can. You can link those accounts, even if you're not using them. And then whenever you do decide to use them, it's like if you're going to get a PC, you're going to get another platform soon, you can link those accounts, even if you're not actively using it right now. Do you still have to purchase the content on everything? Yes.
Yep.
You'll get new light, the basic stuff, but you'll still need to purchase anything, any of the DLC, including Shadowkeep. Also, your balances of silver do not transfer across.
What?
Your balances of silver do not transfer across platforms.
Okay.
So
did I probably know that at one point in time? Probably. Did I forget until just now? Most likely.
Yeah. Just use your silver on the place that you bought it, basically.
That's right.
Yeah, use your silver on your active account, buy on your active account. So once you've enabled cross-save, can you disable it? So it's meant to be a one-time action. You enable it, you go about your life, you never think about it again. However, you can disable it. So you will have access if you decide you want to go, I've been playing on Xbox, but I decide that, I had an old PC account or I had another PlayStation account, and I decided maybe I want to make that one my active account. You can disable the cross save and get your old characters back. However, there is a 90-day wait to re-enable the cross save. So if you're making a change, think about, do I really want to make this change? Because, there's a 90-day wait, 3 months, until you can re-enable the cross save again on your account. And this policy exists to discourage activity like account recoveries by other players. You can't just hop around on other accounts and, build like all 3 of them up. And a question that we asked last week, how will cross-save impact my clans? So your active account will be included in only one Destiny clan. This will become your clan on all the platforms where you play Destiny.
Sucks.
Now, at least your active account will only take up 1 player slot in the clan roster. So Respawn can play as part of the Frozen Clan on Xbox, on PC, on Google Stadia, whatever. But even if he has, 2, 3, 4 accounts on Destiny on different platforms, it's still just 1 slot in that 100-man clan roster. Speaking of which, Bungie, can we up that a little bit? That'd be great. So as you move from platform to platform, you can make progress in your clan, no matter what platform you're playing on. But it's going to be one true clan.
So
wherever you're playing.
Technically are cross play, meaning I know you can't play on different platforms, but let's say on PC there was no Frozen Clan, period. But because there's a Frozen Clan on Xbox, does that mean that now they have created a clan on PC where one previously did not exist? Or whenever they created the Frozen Clan, did it create the Frozen Clan on all the platforms by default?
The Frozen Clan will be there, and anybody, if you're in the Frozen Clan and you're playing on PC, any other Frozen Clan PC players you'll be able to see, talk to, play with, have access to. Anybody who is still on Xbox or Stadia, PlayStation, whatever, you will not be able to see and interact with while you're playing on your PC. So it'll pick up whatever platform you're on, while you're on it, but yeah. So it sort of is like cross play for clans. You're still earning clan XP and doing clan bounties and things, even if you're not on the same platform where you started in that clan. And if you still have a bunch of questions, go to the help forum. The support team is out there looking for information and trying to get stuff out to people. Because again, there's still a lot of questions.
You need to answer these questions. All right, hold on, stop. Let's back this truck up just a little bit. All right, Peroty, listen.
Story time with Respawn. What questions do you have for us today, Respawn?
No,
where have we lost you? Where are you confused?
No, it was just that same thing because you didn't actually answer my question about, did the Frozen Clan already exist on PC before all this nonsense happened?
No.
Right? That's what I'm saying. So basically, because of this crossplay, let's say I log in, right? I'm the first Frozen Clan member to log into a PC. I'm not saying I am. These are hypotheticals. I log in. Does that then create the Frozen Clan on PC platforms?
No. Frozen Clan is the Frozen Clan on
Bungie, on Bungie.net.
So
okay.
Nobody else could create Frozen Clan on PC or on Battle.net or PlayStation because that name's taken. The way we spelt the name, that's taken. So they wouldn't be able to create the same kind of Frozen. So that space is reserved for if we did then cross over to Battle.net and PlayStation.
Okay, so the first part is correct. It already exists on PC.
Technically, yes, right, it would still. It's in the ether, right? So, yes, we'll switch across all of them then.
Yeah, because that clan lives on Bungie's site, it's accessible on whatever platform. Yeah, so it's out there as a placeholder. You can't have a Frozen with a Zero clan. So the FRZN tech that is out there in the world, no matter what platform you're on. There is only one.
So Respawn's question about the other clans. So I'll give you a kind of example. So Celestial Talons, he's in the Frozen Clan on Xbox with us. On PlayStation, he's in I think it's the Lads Clan. And then on Battle.net, he is on We Chosen Few.
How's that going to work?
Whichever one he picks as his main character, I think that clan would then spread across.
Yes.
So assuming he goes for the cross save.
Whatever. Right.
Sounds like two of his accounts are going to die.
The cross save. So, yeah, his other accounts are going to die. So the clan that he's with, that he chooses to go with, unless he then goes, oh, can I rejoin Frozen? the rest of the accounts will be wiped out. So the PlayStation 1 and the Xbox One would be wiped out if you chose the Battle.net one to bring that across.
But he doesn't have to choose one, right? Because it say if you choose to enable
So
cross save.
Respawn's right. If you do not activate cross save, you can still continue playing on multiple platforms with multiple clans, just as you have. If you activate the cross save, it's going to bring whatever. Again, using the example of if you activate your Xbox One and you're in Frozen, it's going to make Frozen your clan on everything. If you activate the clan you're with on the PC, whatever clan you're with in that PC. Sorry, I've forgotten already because my brain is mush. Then that's what it's going to be across your cross save character. You're basically choosing one of your accounts to move forward as the one true account, Lord of the Rings style. There can only be one. It's a Highlander Lord of the Rings matchup. You get where we're going here. Now, again, you don't have to turn on cross save. You can continue to play multiple accounts, multiple characters, multiple everythings, and not share that content. You can do that. There's nothing stopping you, other than sanity, maybe. But you can still do that. But yeah, if you activate the cross save, you will be choosing the one true account to move forward. So the only nice thing is, if you are playing on multiple platforms, it's not taking up extra spaces in your clan up to that 100 limit. There is still that 100-person limit, which is sort of a bummer.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I still have a bunch of questions, Peroty.
Well, the great thing about that is there's a help form.
I told you where to go already. I told you where to take your bunch of questions right to the help form. Because and again, they're putting information out. There's still going to be questions. There's tons of edge cases. There's tons of how do I do this? Where do I do that? And you can go to both of these, the PC Move site and the cross save site, and there's a big button at the top that says "Remind me, get notifications." You can click on that. It'll pop up. If you're logged into the Bungie, it'll just say, "Hey, you're registered for notifications," and they will send you an email and send you a little alert on October 1st when Steam is ready, and also on August 20th when the cross save goes active. And then it'll remind you, hey, get this set up, get this working, to give you plenty of time between now and that October 1st deadline of moving your PC account over and things like that. So again, get reminded by Bungie. Don't try to keep this all in your head. You'll eventually fail.
That does seem to be it.
So here we go. Let's see if I can do this in one take.
Can you do it?
Probably not.
I didn't think so.
Players of Destiny have a lot of questions about Shadowkeep.
What questions? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So Bungie say players of Destiny have a lot of questions about Shadowkeep, and they wouldn't have it any other way, because we all have a lot of questions between now and launch. This is more than a moon mission. We're kicking off a whole new year of play, with some interesting evolutions for the experience. Without assigning exact dates to each moment, here is a sequence of events, in the order that they will occur, that will broaden your understanding of what you'll be able to play in October. So, number 1, Director's Cut with Luke Smith. So, he says in a tweet, he's been doing some typing. Part 1 is going to be out early next week, so 13th, 14th of August 2019, roughly. And he says this part looks back at the last 6 months of Destiny. It's about 4,000 words, aka 8 single space pages. Part 2 is still under construction. It's comparable in size. The wall of text will see you soon. So that's his kind of director's cut. Step 2, Armor Customization Preview live stream. And this is going to be August 14th, 2019 at 10 a.m. Pacific. That's 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. London, and 3 a.m. Sydney time. Bungie say, tune in wherever you feel most at home to watch these 3 developers from Bungie build their ideal Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. They'll apply mods, artifacts, and ornaments to build their own version of the perfect monster-killing machine. Then we'll test those builds in the new sandbox. So this is going to go live, as we said, on August 14th, and it's going to be on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. And that is step 2. Step 3 is more Shadowkeep details at Gamescom. And Gamescom is Tuesday the 20th of August to Saturday the 24th of August. And at the moment, we haven't got a time or date when that's going to be, but it's roughly around those. Step 4 is cross-save launch. So again, that was the 20th. So if step 3 is before the 20th, 21st, then maybe it's day 1 of Gamescom on the Tuesday. Step 5 is how seasons will change in D2 Year 3. Step 6 is the PvP reveal for Shadowkeep. Step 7 is an invitation to the Crucible at PAX. And PAX 2019 is Friday the 30th of August, and that ends on Monday the 2nd of September. So this 1 to 7 is all going to be squeezed in the next couple of weeks. So that's quite exciting, don't you think, Respawn?
I'm pins and needles right now. Is what I'm sitting on. I think is how you say that.
For the live stream that's going on the 14th of August, we will link the Twitch, at YouTube, and Mixer if you want to click on one of those to watch that. Looks
You
quite
absolutely
interesting.
You should.
We'll be watching it, and then we'll probably be giving some feedback next week on it.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I guess that's the thing.
What else do you think you do on the podcast? You don't just turn up and read the notes like as they appear on your screen, do you?
Listen.
Yes, you do. You do.
That's
Nobody...
That is neither here nor there. Okay, that has no bearing on this conversation.
This week you did actually do some research. You told me you had 3 videos that you'd watched.
Yeah, I did.
Have you sent over the links for those?
I did not send those links because you didn't tell me to send the links. You just said, "Hey, we need to get some builds ready." So I got builds.
Okay. Well, you see, you've actually actively done something for the podcast this week instead of just turned up.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys give me stuff to do, I'll do it.
We give you stuff all the time. Like 2 weeks ago, I said to you, go away and do this build and research it and come back.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't actually do the research. You just went, this build is fantastic, and then asked Nolus about it.
Because I wanted to get his feedback. I talked a lot, right?
Yeah, you did. So, Boss Hog. Don't know what that means. That looks interesting.
What?
I don't know. That's the title of the thing on the notes that he's put. For a limited time,
missed that.
you are all invited to the European Aerial Zone. Think of it as a summer vacation with a fabulous loot as your souvenir. Oh, yeah. Fabulous loot. I keep getting dropped into games where everybody's abandoned it and I'm just facing the end boss. I kill the end boss and there's like one chest. And I tell you what, my poor son the other day, he was zoned into the EAZ and he got dropped in at the final boss. And whoever was in there just had completely gone. Helped him kill the end boss. And where the chest spawns, you know, at the top of the steps, there was the icon for the chest, but no chest. We waited. We thought maybe somebody's spawning in. Nothing. 10 minutes later, he's like, Dad, can I just go now? I was like, okay, mate. Sorry. You don't get any chests.
No,
Bless him.
That's not cool.
That's what's been really annoying about that EAZ is I don't mind either soloing like for 5 minutes and going killing the mini bosses and then having to fight the boss by myself because people don't want to be in that instance because it's not the right instance for farming the mini bosses. But when you're zoned in at the final boss and you kill the final boss and there's no chests, it's like, really? Why have I bothered? You know, just spawn me at the beginning of an instance so I can actually do the work and get the rewards rather than, you know, at the end just because they've left. Anyway, my little moan out of the way.
No, it's fine. No, it's an accurate thing. A lot of people are complaining about that a lot lately. I personally haven't run into it, so I don't quite understand what it is that you guys are going through. What I have done a few times though is I've loaded in to one that has just finished, right? And I'll run around, pick up like 7 or 8 chests, and then it sends me back to orbit or whatever, right? But why are people leaving the boss?
Because the boss doesn't count as a mini boss. So what they're doing is they're going around killing all the mini bosses, and then they're leaving, and then zoning back in or reloading back up the EAZ because it's faster to do it that way.
Hold on, wait. So, okay, I think that's where my hang up is because instead of doing that, why don't you just wait for the Cabal bosses where it's 0 of 3? You kill one of them and you just kill the engineers until you got your mini boss kills.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know about that. So what they've been doing is going through killing like 5 or 6 mini bosses. Once it gets to the end boss, they've been leaving the game. The game then automatically fills with like 1 or 2 players for that end boss, and you kill the end boss, and then you go around and pick up the chest. But you get the chest part done for your blue armor, but you don't get the mini bosses done. So that's the issue that some players, especially me, have been doing, especially when I'm solo.
Right.
That's the issue that I've been coming up against.
That sucks.
Bungie say one of the mission parameters is to defeat 100 mini bosses, and this is for your blue armor. So to upgrade your blue armor on one of the pieces, I believe it's the chest piece, I think, is kill 100 mini bosses in the EAZ, and then there's 50 chests that you have to open in the EAZ on another piece. It might depend on which class that you're fighting. I think they do change from whichever item it is. Some of you have expressed that this is a few too many boss fights. Upon further analysis, we have agreed. So the total expectation is being revised down from 100 to 50. The change goes live next week, and if you're struggling to hit this milestone, help is on the way. If you've already hit it, please go easy on your fellow guardians who are pleading for mercy. So that's what they're doing to adjust it. And I believe they said that the mini bosses are going to count for 1 kill, and the final boss is going to count for 2. So it's trying to encourage more people to actually finish the entire engagement and go around and collect the boxes, which I don't understand, because if you finish the entire engagement, you get more of a chance of those Solstice boxes to drop. I know a lot of the boxes that you open give you keys, but sometimes you get like 3 or 4 boxes to open. And if you've been doing the forge farming, you get a key or 2 keys every forge completion. So I'm up to 1,800 keys at the moment, and I've only got like 10 boxes. If I get more boxes, then I can open more boxes to then get more stuff to then have farmed for Shadowkeep.
Yeah, I think the people's problem, the reason why a lot of this is happening is because they're finishing their chests really, really quickly, right? So they don't care about hanging out and, doing
Well,
the
I think
whole...
a lot of people were saying that it should have been the other way around. 100 chests
Oh, yeah,
and 50
definitely.
mini boxes.
Definitely.
Sounds a bit more, balanced, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about it, if you've got to do it on each character, that's 300 mini bosses. So no wonder people are finding cheeses and farms to do, like that Cheese Forever video that we featured last week.
Yep. It's ridiculous. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous, man, that there are that many mini bosses. I mean, I think a lot of this whole thing is ridiculous, right? Last night, I finally got my hunter to purple armor. Now, granted, the first week I didn't get to play at all, but still, it took me way too long when I was actively playing and actively doing these things to actually get my hunter up to purple. I mean, I know I say bonkers a lot, and I know I say it's ridiculous, but I mean, it's because I can't really think of any other words to fill that gap, right?
No,
it should not have been done. It definitely shouldn't have been that intensive, especially if you got to get not a tribute, a title. What am I thinking of? Because you have to get it on all 3 characters. That special thing, right? So you get the sparrow, but you get something else. Whatever. My brain's frazzled right now. But either way,
you get the sparrow if you do it on all 3.
Yeah, but you also get something else, right? You get an achievement of some kind, like a tribute or a triumph. Triumph.
No,
you get a triumph, don't you?
No, you only have to have got the complete set on 1 character and masterwork 1 item for the 2 triumphs.
Okay, that's fair.
So you don't have to do any more if you don't want to do any more. And like I think we were saying at the beginning of the show, you don't have to masterwork the armor to get the 2.0 armor for Shadowkeep. As long as you've got it to the legendary set, you can then take your time to then masterwork it, give it glows, as long as like in the next 3 weeks. Although I was panicking in my head. I was thinking, oh my god, I've only got 3 weeks to do this. So that's 1 character each week that I've got to get up to legendary, and then this is going to be a bit of a stretch. I can do the first character in the first week, second character in the second week, and so on. But my mind didn't compute the 27th of August it's a 4-week thing. So we're going to have 4 weeks to actually get 3 characters up to legendary. So I've kind of slowed down in the last couple of days. I mean, my Titan's basically done now, because he's sitting on 50 kills, 50 mini boss kills. So he's ready to then get to legendary next week with the patch. And
that's all you got left?
Yeah, on the blue set. And then my Warlock, I've been doing little bits every now and then. So I mean, I would play Crucible and Strikes for the green set, and then save the Gambit until the blue set, because I know it says you can play Gambit or Crucible, so I thought I'd rather do it that way around.
What are you doing, the Gambit or the Crucible?
Gambit with the blue set because you have to do Gambit, but with the green set it says you can either do Gambit or Crucible. And again, I found doing Rumble the quickest way to do it. There's a lot quicker matches. I mean, yeah, I mean, initially I thought it was a grind. That was only because I was thinking that it was a 3-week thing, even though I've been saying on a podcast it's till the 27th of August, but my mind wasn't computing that. Being on holiday with the kids and things, I'm thinking, I've only got limited time. But don't tell anyone. But I was kind of cheating a little bit with some of the steps. I had
tell everyone.
I had a little person play my
Oh my God! Listen to you.
My Gambit games
to tears. Even he had a small person play until he was in tears.
That was Crucible. He was getting upset in Crucible.
Is that really a thing? Was he really crying?
I made my son. I said to him, if he played my Crucible games, because I was too busy doing jobs.
Sure.
I said, look, you play my Crucible games, and I'll give you some screen time so that you can play on your Xbox later on. Because his mum had kind of cut him down on screen time. So I said, as I'm painting, you can sit there and do, my Gambit, my Crucible games. But you have to use the arc weapons because I need arc orbs as well. So he was doing that, bless him. He was getting so upset.
That's got to be some kind of child labor law.
Now, is this the same son though who was facing the Lunas Howls of the Not Forgotten in the Crucible, who's secretly a world class Crucible tryhard?
Right?
But no, that's on his own account. So.
Okay. So on his account, he's facing all the top tier weapons. On your account, not so much.
Yeah. And I left him for 2 seconds.
What
right?
does that say about his account?
I left my son for 2 seconds playing on my account. I come back, right? Literally, I'd walk downstairs to go and get an extra pot of paint. Come back up, and he went, "Dad, I'm playing competitive." I was like, "Why are you playing competitive?" It's like,
why not?
Why on my account are you playing competitive?
Because
it would seem he's better than you.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Secretly, I think he goes into competitive when I'm not
help
watching.
You out. Yeah, he goes into comp and just maps people and runs over them, teabags them, and moves on. He's actually sitting at the top tier in the entire country right now. He just doesn't want you to know.
I mean, you guys have played with him with the headset on. He talks non-stop, so he doesn't have a headset when he's playing Destiny because he would talk the ears off his team, his opposing team. He's mental. For a 7-year-old, he just talks non-stop.
That's how he's so good. He's actually figured out a way to get into the party chat of the other team and just talks to them so they can't concentrate, so they lose. That's his entire game plan.
Seems to be working.
One of these days, I'll have to record him because some of the things that he says are fantastic. It's just it's beyond. The other day we were coming back from boxing, and we're in the car. And he is rabbiting on at me about Destiny, telling me all these different things about Destiny. Like, yeah. It tells me when he gets older, he's going to be an engineer. So, like, right, cool. I'm going to be a computer engineer. Like, yeah, that's really cool. He then goes into how he's going to make Destiny 3. Some of the stuff that he's come up with is absolutely fantastic. But, I mean, one of the things that he suggested was playing Crucible. You kill somebody, they drop their weapon. You can pick their weapon up and play with it. And he said, if you survive the whole game with it, you get to keep that weapon. They get to keep their weapon as well, but you get to keep their version of that weapon. I thought, that's fantastic. Something like that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. It also would have been better had they lost that weapon.
No, I don't think so.
No, that's what competitive is for.
There's quick play, there's competitive, and then there's no holds bars, God help you mode, where you go in and you're going to lose these things.
Oh, 100%.
I should have really recorded what he was saying because some of the stuff that he was coming out with, some of the ideas were really fantastic for like what Destiny 3 could be if he was designing it. Basically,
good job, Dad. Way to drop the ball on that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's probably still remembers it all. He remembers it all.
Sure, he does.
So, Destiny hotfix 2.5.2.1 will drop on Tuesday, August 13th. Here is your deployment schedule. So on Monday the 12th, you can basically ignore Monday the 12th. They're doing some back-end maintenance. It shouldn't affect anything, knock on wood. No town times expected from 10 a.m. Pacific to 11 a.m. Pacific. No, sorry, that's totally wrong.
You've
try this
even
again,
written down
kids.
2 p.m. specific.
I have written down specific time. All right, so
Sorry,
Monday,
I
August
put you off
12th, for everybody who's not in Australia, Pacific time, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 to 5. London time, 6 to 10 p.m. Australia, 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. You guys won't be awake anyway, probably. They're doing background maintenance. Shouldn't affect anything. Shouldn't notice it. Go on about your lives. Tuesday, August 13th, at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. London, and 2 a.m. Sydney, Australia, Destiny 2 maintenance begins. Don't worry about things. Keep playing your game. Wrap up what you're doing. 45 minutes later, everybody gets kicked offline. Destiny goes down. Taking the servers, pulling the plugs, walking out, laughing maniacally. Now, 15 minutes after that, we're going to push the updates to everyone. Hotfix, or hotfix, as I wrote apparently. Hotfix 2.5.2.1 will begin rolling out at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 6 p.m., 3 a.m. to all Destiny players. And you can turn your console back on, download your hotfix. Now at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. London, and 4 a.m. Andy, get up at 4 a.m. Destiny is going to be back up. Maintenance is expected to conclude. Now they say expected to conclude. I think the last couple windows it's gone for an additional 1 to 2 to 4 hours, so these times may vary. But for live updates on the hotfix, please follow Bungie Help on Twitter. Go to help.bungie.net. They'll have a full list of what's all in the hotfix coming later on. Yay!
But will they though? That is the question. Dun 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 dun.
And I paused because I didn't know what else. Did you do any
Nope,
more of this?
We
or?
did the
we
100 mini bosses. No, we did the mini
Yeah.
bosses.
We did
Yes,
the boss
did.
hog thing at the top there. It says
We did
Yeah.
the mini boss thing. We had this whole discussion about how they're going to
we
cut
did
it
the
down to
boss
50.
hog. We did boss hog. So he's just got to tell us about this stuff.
That's what
It's
I
the
figured.
same. We're just
Oh, no,
repeating
no.
stuff.
No, because I missed it up. I messed it up. Look, it says completely
It's already been
You-
discussed.
contribute
We're not
ruined
repeating it
everything.
twice. Don't do it. Don't do
Go
it.
on. Go on,
Don't do
Peroty.
it.
The mini bosses have been scaled from 100
my
to 50, which is the right decision to begin with. Also, completing the final round boss contributes an additional 5 points of progress. So maybe people will stop leaving the activity quite so quickly.
Nope.
Known issues with your granted emblems and collections. Remember last week how we said don't delete your Prismatic Inferno or your Wolf's Unleashed emblems? Because once you have them from the Postmaster, you can't pull them out of collections. They're going to put them in collections with this hotfix. So once they do that, you'll be able to pull them out of collections. So if you got them, excitedly deleted them, and then kicked yourself, that'll now be fixed. Also,
Yay.
they're taking friends away. You can no longer have any friends.
Oh.
They're retiring refer a friend. I guess you could have the friends, but you can't refer them and say, come play Destiny and get anything for it. So following the launch of Cross Save on August 21st, 2019, all players who wish to participate and refer a friend should do so as soon as possible because they're turning it off on... Did I forget to put the date in there?
Kind of.
Did they forget? Better question. Did they forget to put the date in there?
Nope. This is all you, buddy.
It says it no longer be available following the launch of Cross Save on 21st of August 2019. So is that kind of you've got to do it before then?
That's what I took from it. Let's see. Let me go look at the actual page itself.
So while Peroty's doing that, the refer a friend, if you referred a friend in Destiny 2 Forsaken, you got an emblem, a sparrow, an emote, and I think it was a gun skin. And a gun skin for, I think it was the
feeling
sniper rifle, the
Of a
Borealis.
job well done.
For
Probably.
completing certain different objectives with your refer a friend. Now that refer a friend had to have bought Forsaken after the fact of you recommending them, and then there's code sent and things like that. If you want to look it up, there are links on the Bungie website which we can post.
Yeah. Will no longer be available following the launch of Cross Save. That's it.
So this thing, I've heard people mention this once upon a time, right? What is that word? Hold on. Friend. What's a friend? How do you get one of those?
You can't. You have to before August 21st. Otherwise, you can't have any more friends.
Right, but what is a friend?
You don't have any. We're just acquaintances.
You personally will never know.
No.
Oh, sad face.
Yes. So if you've got a friend that's going to get into Destiny 2 coming September and they want to get into it early with buying Forsaken, you can refer them. and get an exclusive emblem,
You could
etc.,
also ask
etc.
them at what point in time they received, heavy brain damage to, justify them wanting to get Destiny now, of all times.
Because it's in a good state at this point in time, and they might want to get into it before Shadowkeep comes up. Don't be horrible. We've got summer holidays. I know your kids are all going back,
so they can crush all the new people once they get on. They can get that head start.
But I think the kids in Europe, especially England at the moment, have still got another 3 weeks off. So you might have some family members, friends that might want to kind of have some playtime. So we'll put links in the show notes for the refer a friend. But just be aware that it is going away on the 21st of August.
So you've got a week and a half to go make some friends. Yeah. Or not. So Respawn, get on that. Good luck, buddy.
You didn't tell me what a friend was. How do I find them? Where are they at? Can you buy one?
I told you. I'll put a link in the show notes. You can go and read all about it.
Yeah, you have to use the link to get one referred to you. If you do not have a friend, one will be assigned to you.
Can you buy it with silver, or is it like a Bright Dust kind of thing?
Both, apparently, now these days.
Yeah, all bets are off.
All bets are off. What is this Destiny Roundup stuff? Shout out to DestinyRoundup.com. Cosmo.
Because I want to give them credit, because that's where we pull all the stuff from every week. So DestinyRoundup.com. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. Go visit them. They do all the hard work of going through all the Twitters and the Reddits and all the forums and put up there for us to look at and read to you fine people. So go give them the love they deserve.
So Cosmo says you don't have to masterwork the Solstice sets to pick up the 2.0 versions. Hey, we just said that earlier.
Remember that question you had?
You have to wait until Shadowkeep to see what Armor 2.0 is like. You are not losing any Year 2 armor sets. And feedback to allow stacks to exceed 999 has been passed along. DMG, uncommon and rare Solstice armors will be ornaments come Shadowkeep. Uncommon and rare Solstice armors will be okay. That's cool, I guess.
Blue and green.
Upcoming community, the upcoming community challenge will be a fun testing ground, and they'll see how they can grow in the future. Stay tuned for details. Regarding Hunter grenade buffs. Now,
make of this what you will, because I included the Twitter exchange that was linked here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cade6 Hunter Cade is saying, I was wondering if Hunter grenades will ever get a buff because they seem underpowered in my opinion. And DMG replies, to be frank with you, I couldn't answer that right now, even if I tried. All I have is this bowl of cereal in my hands, one that I've refilled 3 times.
That's true.
Which is then from a link above of like some cereal chat. So I don't know if he's making a Hunter cereal grenade comparison there. I don't know what's happening there.
I don't know.
So yeah.
But I can tell you,
grenades will kill you.
But I can tell you,
I guess because apparently DMG and Cosmo have been having sweet cereal talk about cereal processes, and make of that what you will, hunters. Maybe it means something to you. Maybe us Titans don't understand.
To kind of elaborate on that a little bit, right? Our Void Grenade is pretty good. No complaints on the Void Grenade, but the skip grenades on the Solar and the Arc subclass, they're tragically bad. I was playing Crucible because we had to. Right? And I tossed a skip grenade at some guy in front of me. It broke apart. All of the pieces hit the guy, and it didn't even take down his shield. I'm like, you got hit with every component of that grenade and didn't die. What?
Maybe had resilience of 10. Like I rock when I am in Crucible.
Whatever. Point is
I don't have mobility.
That should have definitely done way more damage than what it did.
I am like a tank.
Well, you are a Titan, so that's the thing. I mean, I never really complain. I mean, I use grenades very rarely on any character, on any subclass. I don't depend on them. Hey, I have it, I'll chuck it, but I don't really expect it to do anything. So I'm not one of those people that are complaining about, Hunter grenade buffs. But it is a good point. Our grenades do kind of suck. But we do excel in other areas, so it's not really a big talking point for me. I could probably make it a respawn rant if need be, but it doesn't bother me.
No, because it's not in the notes. It says you're not having a rant this week.
Yeah. really, grenades are in a spot where they serve one purpose. It's to say, you're standing there. I want you to stand somewhere that's not right there. So if I put this grenade there, it'll flush you out. At least that's how I use my Titan grenades.
Oh, yeah, I mean, for a Titan grenade, that's good.
I'm going to put this right here and make you move. And then
a Hunter skip grenade doesn't even do that. Hey, you're standing there. I'm going to throw this skip grenade at you. Huh. You're still standing there. Huh. Now
It
I'm dead.
It just allows them to skip. Well, see, they're just skipping through your grenade. That's all. They're just going la 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 la, like it's tiptoeing through tulips. It's like dancing through hunter grenades. They don't do any good.
It's essentially the Destiny version of throwing spitballs at somebody. It's not good for much.
Accurate.
Discrepancies regarding reset times for Prometheus Lens emblem are being looked into. Wow. Okay, they're being looked into, guys, because reading is a thing that I know how to do once upon a time.
Which was interesting, and really, it seems to be, at least this post was one guy being like, "Hey, I played exactly one Crucible match during this window back when, because of daylight savings times, reset was at 9 versus 10." And he's like, "I played in that 9 to 10 window, but didn't get credit for it, even though it was technically in the reset window, even though they say 10 a.m., but back before it changed." But just thought it was interesting. Anyway,
that is interesting.
Is
if you're looking at one guy, there might be help for you.
This is
Andrew
from
Hobbs.
Hobson. Whatever.
It's not Hobson Shaw. It's Andrew Hobbs.
But it could be.
It's from Hops.
Hops.
It says Galaran's deception responds with full health if he dies right as he starts to teleport is a known issue being investigated.
Yes. Have you seen that? That's quite interesting.
Which one's Galaran's deception?
The first phase.
Yeah, the first phase, little guys in the bubbles. The Twitter link goes to a video of, I think, the Team Rex folks being like, "We killed him. Wait, he's back again at full health."
Yeah.
Galaran's. Hold on. Let me just take a look at this right quick, guys.
Oh, yeah, because you haven't finished or done the raid yet.
How many clears of this raid do you have? Tell me about your raid experience.
100%.
About your sweet raid experience. The guys in the bubbles that you have to throw things at and have to punch, and then, yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't know what Galaran's deception is either, but I'm like, it's the guy in the bubble that you have to punch.
Yeah. I see it now. Okay.
How many bubble guys do you punch besides
suck at the
Titans in your daily
names.
life?
I suck at the names, man.
That's what I was telling you. It's a guy in a bubble you have to punch, or the first phase of the raid. Like Nitedemon said, we're trying to help you out. We're failing. We're trying.
The one that had the 4 phases instead of 3. Okay, so
it's a secret bonus phase. Like there's hidden perks, there's a hidden phase.
Right. So Nitedemon Solstice of Heroes thoughts. We already did that. Tips, tricks, and guides.
Good.
Yeah, we kind of did that.
Yeah. Well, I figured since we didn't have you last week, we didn't get your thoughts on your Solstice of Hero grind, lack thereof, if you'd even looked at the game in weeks, other than forcing small children to play it for you.
I've been playing, on and off when I can, and if I know it's not the right thing to do, but I've kind of sat down and gone like, I'm going to do 10 strikes all in one go. Oh, I'm going to farm out my Crucible to my son. Make him play 10 games in a row.
Listen to this guy.
You do what you have to do. The grind is there for a reason. Some of us can't be streamers and play 12 hours a day. We had to farm it out to children.
So this is my tips, tricks, and suggestions. If you have small children that you trust with your account, get them to play some of the strikes. Get a bit of Crucible.
I don't know how it is in the UK, but in America, that's a no-no. All right.
So you want screen time? Your screen time is going to be murdering other Guardians or possibly aliens. That's your screen time for the day.
He earned screen time. I said, for every game that you play, you can have like extra half an hour of screen time. So when he actually finished playing my games and, went off to do my Forge farming, he went into his room, turned on his Xbox and started playing Destiny. I was like, you've just moaned that you were playing Crucible.
He moaned that he was playing Crucible on your account, Dad.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
He had comp carries he needed to finish. Fallout Plays was calling him out. You need to get on those comp carries and help Fallout carry those folks to get their recluses and their not forgotten and things.
That's right, man. Your son is
you're holding him back in quickly. You're holding him back in quick play. I mean, you're not letting him live to his full potential.
I don't know any of the tips and tricks this week because I've not put any of these together. This is all thanks to Peroty.
Well, our first tip and trick comes via Rain Junkie on Reddit, via then Cheese Forever's YouTube community page where I saw this. He's put together a really nice EAZ map of where all the chests are. That's color coded, tells you if it's on the ground or above the ground. So since there are a finite number of chests and they spawn in a finite number of areas, here's where you can find them all. So here's a lovely color-coded MS Paint map that we'll put in the show notes or link to where it lives. We'll put it somewhere. You can find it. It'll be beautiful.
Part of me hates the fact that it is actually MS Paint.
I mean, it may not be MS Paint. I don't know. All things in my brain are MS Paint maps going back to D1 and the Gorgons map that was MS Paint of here's where they all are and here's where they're owned to. Sticking with our Cheese Forever theme, he has put together a series of majestic armor cheeses, including the Shattered Throne, which is you can run it with 3 people. Then the third person leave at the very end. And then you get credit for clearing it with 2. And then that person left at the very end, he's got a boss checkpoint. Bring your fire team of 3 back in, beat the boss again, different person leaves, now you've done it with 2 people. He also has cheeses for the rest of the event, so go check those out.
I was watching this video, and what I found quite interesting, I mean, initially when it started off and he said, you can put 3 people in there and 1 person leave before the end and you've got the checkpoint. And I was thinking, oh, that's going to be brilliant. I can then just swap over to my character, to the next character, to the next character, and I've got the checkpoint and we can just kind of roll through it and just do that in boss. We don't need to kind of go through it, the whole mission to get that done. But with that, as long as you've got the Majestic Armor set unlocked and equipped on each character, no matter if you're playing on them or not, if you've got them equipped and you complete it on that one character you complete it with, it then counts across the whole account, doesn't it, Peroty?
It does. It does account wide, so you don't have to do this over and over and over again.
And I believe it's the same for the Nightfall as well. So you only have to do one 200,000 Nightfall. And as long as you've got the equipment, as long as you've got the Majestic set equipped on all your other characters, it will then count across all 3 characters.
Which makes this absurd grind a little less absurd and a little less grindy. Because really, those are the 2 big ones. The rest of these aren't that bad. Once you get to the Majestic set, it's like really you've paid your dues getting through that blue set. Once you get to your Majestic set, they're like, okay, we'll give you a couple of hard challenges, and the rest of it's more or less just play the game and you'll be fine.
And I believe they do say that you can masterwork any piece of your armor after Shadowkeep. After the Solstice has finished. So you don't need to rush and get the Shattered Throne done this week if you're behind. So if you're like me, slowly grinding it through and getting all your blue gear up to then the Majestic set, you can wait until like the Solstice is finished and then do the Shattered Throne and masterwork those armor sets. So there's no rush for the masterwork. It's just a rush to get to the Majestic set. It's just the masterworking that you can do afterwards. And I think, like we said previously in the show, that masterworking it, you can do anytime, but you don't have to masterwork it to unlock the 2.0 armor, which is really good as well.
Right. Yeah. And the masterworking, it doesn't cost anything. There is no steps. It's just you have the piece, you complete the thing, you masterwork it. You're not spending cores, you're not spending materials. It's just you've grinded long enough. Here is your masterworked armor set.
And I believe the Crucible is retroactive as well. So if you've already reset your rank in this season, I think you just enter one activity. You don't even need to enter Crucible. You can enter Gambit, and it will suddenly kind of flash up to say that you've completed that step. So again, if you've got that, if you do it on one character, you can then swap over to the next character and load into an activity, and it should auto complete. But if you're not sure, just go into Crucible, play a game, and it should then, see that you've done it. Or you can just reset your rank again, whatever you feel like.
Yeah, no problem. Just grind your way through it again. It'll be fine.
Do all of the things again.
And since you are grinding your way through things, we have another Cheese Forever video of staying off the radar after your invisibility. So whether you're a hunter or whether you're playing on a void day and you collect 30 void orbs because apparently you've lived in the Crucible that long, basically as long as you crouch and you can crab walk, but if you're crouching and not shooting or running or doing anything fancy, after the invisibility, you won't show up on the radar until you then engage somebody, run, something like that for about an extra 15 seconds. So even though you're visible to the naked eye, you're not visible to the radar yet. So Cheese Forever has a video documenting that.
Oh, that's going to be interesting in comp, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be good times.
Thank God Trials isn't around. There'd be so many people screaming about that one.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, at least it doesn't do you any good until you engage someone, or if you run, so it's not going to help a Titan out if you're trying to get shoulder charged. But
you could hide behind a wall, and wait for them to come looking for you.
Just sit there. So if they see you, you're good. If they don't see you, you're dead. And there's another Cheese Forever video because we're on a roll this week with our 30-second Chaos Reach, the longest command in
35 seconds.
Destiny, whatever it was. Which basically, this involves using, the arc ward buff to double the duration. He started out with Geomax stabilizers while standing in a well of radiance to extend the duration even further. Activates the super with the Geomax, switches to the Phoenix protocol while the super is active, and then just goes to town. And I think they did this it was just tons and tons of taken thralls. So I'm assuming it's like during the Whisper mission where all the thralls spawn. And it was just basically an endless stream of supers, everything dying. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was it was a very stationary because you had to stay in the well to make this work. But if you're just standing in one place doing some damage and it's Arc Day and you've got those two exotics and you can switch fast enough on your PC to make it worthwhile, it's a little devastating. Yeah.
It's a little devastating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
And then everyone's favorite auto rifle. The best auto rifle in Destiny 2. Fun Police has a video also trying to get to the bottom of why the Gnawing Hunger is so good. His has tap the trigger and kill clip on it. And I think he says in the video, he's like, I don't know why this is so good, but it is. It murders people. So play some Gambit Prime, play some Reckoning, pick yourself up a Gnawing Hunger, and go have fun with it. Because auto rifles deserve their day in the sun because it's absurd.
You're saying that about the Gnawing Hunger. Sorry. You say that about the Gnawing Hunger. I watched a video from True Vanguard, and I think he went over the
Tiger Spite?
Tiger Spite from the Dreaming City, and how it's a terrible archetype, how it's a terrible auto rifle for that kind of archetype of weapon.
Yeah. As good as the Gnawing Hunger was, he's like, the Tiger Spite is just garbage. It's like, it should be good. I want it to be good, and it just isn't.
Yeah, it's got me thinking about maybe deleting the 4 that I own.
You should. Well, I mean, as someone who has a deep-seated love of auto rifles, that's that one and the Misfit, Tiger Spite and the Misfit are the two that I've gotten, and just no matter what the role is, they just never seem good enough. No matter what I'm doing with them, there's always a better option.
Say that about the Misfit. The
Gnawing Hunger and a Ringing Nail I've got that are just phenomenal, but those two just garbage.
See, the Misfit is the same archetype as the one that I like, the Sand Wasp, the blue weapon. But it's not the Vice kind of weapon frame. It's a different weapon frame, but it's got the same kind of fire rate, and you can get the same kind of rolls that you could on some of the random rolls of like the Valkadin. Is it the Valkadin or something like that?
Valkadin is another fast firing one.
Yeah, because that's the Vice as well, but that's the legendary version. But I think you're right. I mean, I've tried using the Misfit, and it should fire like that other weapon, but it doesn't. And I think I'm going to end up deleting most of those as well. I've got about 5 or 6 that I kind of play around with, and it's something I'm not feeling. But with the Sand Wasp and the Valkadin, and there's one that you could have got from Dead Orbit when Dead Orbit was around. It's the same kind of Vice frame. They're very good fast-firing weapons. I think I'm going to go back to those because I know at the moment with the Gunsmith, and I think we highlighted it a couple of weeks ago with the Valakadin, you can get random rolls on that. So you can get like an outlaw kill clip, things like that. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at maybe getting rid of them now that you're saying that.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of been my trouble with because Gnawing Hunger is void. The Ringing Nail from the Forge is solar. So I'm going, if I just had a good reliable arc auto rifle, that would complete my trifecta. And indeed. I want it to be the Misfit. I keep getting I'll get a Misfit with a different role going, maybe this is the one. And I don't know, it works for some people. I could kill within Crucible periodically. Some people have one they like, but I haven't found one that works for me. Yeah, and the Tiger Spite, same thing. It just doesn't do it for me. You're like, maybe you're good, maybe you're not, but it doesn't work for me at all. So yeah, I'm right there with you. Okay. And Respawn has all the thoughts about auto rifles. He's going, why are you using auto rifles? You're just wrong. You should use bows that are never getting catalysts.
I do like auto rifles, but I mean, I'm trying to get behind you guys saying that all of the Tiger Spites are bad. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't use the Tiger Spite anymore with all the other options that are out there. But I had one that had Outlaw and Kill Clip that carried me through like the first part of the DLC. It was really good, you know?
Yeah, but we're not saying like these weapons can carry you through. they're reasonable weapons. But when you're going up against the ringing nail is going to win out and out. I think that's what was the underlying factor of the True Vanguard videos, that other auto rifles are just a little bit better. The Tiger Spike wasn't hitting. He was firing it at their head constantly, and just he wasn't getting what he would have got from another auto rifle. So I could feel his pain when he made the video. I was like, you know what? That's what you're right. You've hit the nail on the head with that weapon, because I've tried, and again, like you were saying with the Misfit, I've tried with these weapons and I've got different roles and I've tried different things. I'm thinking, I'll put them in the vault. Maybe when the sandbox changes, maybe they will become great.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I might keep like one or two. But
yeah. Well, I mean, you've got one or two of everything in your vault. But yeah. I keep looking at this, going, maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one. Yeah, it's never quite the right role. It's never quite. I don't know what it's lacking, but it's lacking something. Even Funplays in his video about the non-hunger, he's like, I can't even tell you what particular it is about this. It just seems like, I don't know, it hits harder. I don't know. There's something that just feels good. Some of the guns just feel better than others, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, I thought that he couldn't really put a finger on why it was so good, but it just sort of is. It's a string of bullets that goes out and murders people.
Yeah, no, I feel that, because there's some. It's the same thing. It's the same way with me with hand cannons, right? The Kindled Orchid, I love that. I took it in Crucible the other day to finish the last part of my armor off, right? And it was great. But other hand cannons of that same archetype, I feel like they're just so bad. Even these other ones that are like, oh, this is a god roll, you got to get it. Well, I'll get the god roll, and it doesn't feel good,
Yeah, you are not the right god. Apparently, we have the old gods and the new, and whatever kind of god it's for. I'm the same way. I'm not that god, because even though it should do what it can do, I can't do that.
Correct.
Sorry, I've disrailed your tips and tricks. Carry on, sir.
No, it's fine. It was a good conversation. I watched the Tiger Spite video, but I was like, yeah, he said it wasn't very good. So I debated including it as well, and then sort of forgot about it. Yeah, I mean, I've got to highlight anything that's auto rifle based, because why not? And Fallout, who's been going to a deep place in the "What does this thing do" series. So we move on now, as we learn that the longer the shotgun is, the better it is. What does targeting adjustment?
The longer the barrel, you have to specify. The longer the barrel,
the longer the barrel on the shotgun. Even if it's an ornament that makes the barrel prettier and longer, it's going to be a little more useful, especially on the slugs. He has now done one Fallout Plays featuring Kami Cakes. What does targeting adjuster do? So targeting adjuster, it gives you +5 to aim assist on a weapon. This is another one of those hidden stats, so you're going to need something like Ishtar Commander or Dim Destiny Item Manager to see the stat on your weapon.
What does aim assist do, Peroty?
And basically, aim assist on the controller, it will give you more bullet magnetism and reticle stickiness. Mm-hmm. So basically, the bullet magnetism is when you're shooting near someone, the bullet will sort of track to the player. That's sort of the aim assistiness. And the reticle stickiness is as you're like strafing by a player, as your reticle sort of goes by that player, it'll sort of stick to that player a little longer if you're on a controller.
Side to side, doesn't it?
Yeah, so this is for controller. Whether controller players, you're getting the bullet magnetism and the reticle stickiness. Mouse and keyboard players, you're getting just the bullet magnetism only. So again, the bullets are going to sort of magnetize to your Guardian, but if you're strafing by, you're not going to get that same sort of stickiness. That reticle isn't really going to slow down and stick to that person. So now this is whether you're on PC or console. If you're playing with a controller, it's a controller, mouse, and keyboard breakdown. So if you're using a controller on PC, you're going to get the reticle stickiness. If you're using mouse and keyboard, you're not getting the reticle stickiness. Anyway, he and Kami Cakes go in really in depth in this about what it does, what it doesn't do, and it's a really nice breakdown for if you don't really understand what the aim assist is or how aim assist works or what the difference between mouse and keyboard and controllers are. It does a great job of that. So again, it gives you a little more aim assist. It makes your bullets a little stickier. It makes your reticle a little stickier to the person, a little more bullet magnetism. And following up with that, in his deep dive, what does the Icarus grip do? Basically, there is RNG in all parts of Destiny, up to and including you firing your weapon. So he does a bunch of tests with both first a sniper rifle and then a shotgun, and basically, jumping, firing at a point in the tribute hall, aka the firing range, saying, I'm gonna target here, and then we're gonna see where my bullet ends up. Basically, the Icarus grip, it doesn't make the shot land exactly where you put it every time, but it lessens the RNG. So like with the sniper rifle, he uses, like he jumps in the air and fires. The amount of drift between where the bullet should go, where he was aiming, and where the bullet lands is the difference between shooting somebody through the eye and shooting them somewhere in the shoulder or upper chest, or missing their head entirely. With the Icarus grip on,
that is a huge area, man.
Right.
How far are we talking? Like cross map or right in front of you?
I mean, he's, I don't know, he's
about 20 meters away.
Yeah, I was gonna say 20 meters from the wall. So yeah, I mean, just in that range, he's 20 meters, and I assume it's going to be greater or lesser at range, further range. I don't know, but it was sort of more or less the same thing with the shotgun. And basically, if you put the Icarus grip on with that same sniper rifle, it went from being a eye shot to a shoulder shot. From you might hit one eye, maybe you'll hit the mouth or the other eye. It's still some randomness, there's still some RNG, but it's a much smaller degree. Basically, if you take where you aim that your sight to fire, and you get your protractor and you draw a circle, you're gonna have to draw a big circle without the Icarus grip, and a little tinier circle when you have the Icarus grip on. So it's not going to make it perfect, but it's going to make your randomness a lot less. So when you're jumping in the air and firing, and again, the same thing with a shotgun, bigger armor spread. Some of his bullets just went, I think he used the Ganora's axe as his example, because again, it was one of the slugs. Like here's where you can see where it hits the wall. Again, really big randomness when you're jumping around. Again, like the difference between you hitting that shot and you missing that shot, like if you're jumping over someone or sliding around someone around a corner, that RNG could be the difference between landing that kill shot and missing that Guardian entirely with both those weapons. And again, this is sort of the same thing with all the other weapon types. Just the shotgun and the sniper rifle were sort of easier examples of that. So yeah, Icarus grip. If you're jumping in the air and you're that kind of player, throw an Icarus grip on things. It's going to make your randomness a little less and get you to hit some of those shots that you might have otherwise missed. And that's the end of our Fallout Plays deep dives until he does another one next week. Right. As he says, he desperately needs some social activity and to not stand in a room firing at a wall for hours on end.
See, I mean, I'm glad for that first video you were talking about, because I made the assumption that it just allowed you to hit headshots better, but if it actually affects the magnetism of the rounds towards the character or towards the Guardian, that's
totally.
Yeah.
So it will let you hit those headshots better, because again, your randomness of where that bullet goes is going to be less. The aim assist will be a little more aim assisty.
You guys can link to the film Wanted with Angelina Jolie, where you can curve your bullet round.
Made multiple references to that movie.
Yeah. It's really in that video. Like he shows where it's either he or Kemi at that point. Shows you're shooting a wall. Next to where the other Guardian is standing, and it's counting as a headshot or counting as damage, even though you're not aiming at the Guardian, because it's making that bullet stick to them, or that magnetism.
Yeah, curve. It's making it curve.
Yep. Yeah. Curves. Good words.
All the words.
And we have an Astacross video, the Crown of Ashes, which is the Crown of Tempest plus the Arc Whip grenades, which is basically he uses the Crown of Tempest with enhanced Ashes to assets, which is getting more super from your grenade kills, and the Top Tree Stormcaller to chain lightning, which also gives you super back on kills. So it's sort of like running your bottom tree Striker Titan. Pair that with some momentum transfers to get your melee back quicker after grenade kills, and you're just demolishing things with arc. So, if you're
but I'm assuming this is like just basic ads. This isn't going to be something that you would use against bosses or anything like that, right?
Yeah, it was more of a I think his footage was in Menagerie, if I remember. Yeah. I mean, it was more like ad clearing, crucible murdering. Yeah, you're not. This isn't like a big DPS boss build. That's it's basically the perks of this is I'm gonna have this arc lightning jump from people, chain from enemy to enemy and add to add. So yeah, you can clear a room, but you can't knock down a boss.
So did you post the Astacross? I think it was Astacross. If this isn't you, my bad, dude. But I'm pretty sure it's Astacross posting another video with the
the Liar's Handshake and the Wormscott Caress.
Yeah.
So it's
Let me-
literally the next line.
Let me direct you about one standard non-Icarus script sniper shot below that first one, and you will see the Liar's Handshake versus the Worm God Caress video. Melee damage, and it is asked across. He says, let's put this to bed once and for all. So he breaks down all the weapon numbers, all the damage numbers, and the gist of the video is your Hunter's Liar's Handshake does less damage per use, but it can be chained a lot easier for more overall damage. Where the Titan's Worm God Caress, with all the various perks and buffs he has on it, will do more damage singularly, but it's much harder because you have to move around and slide and this and shoulder charge. You can't just stand there and roll through them like you can with the Hunter Liar Handshake.
Mm-hmm.
And he breaks down all the damage numbers, which are just ridiculous, because that's why I didn't put videos in, but Glad this week, I think, murdered everything by punching it to death with the Hunter Liar Handshake.
Definitely. And
all the
that's
things
one of
have been
the things
punched
I
to
wanted
death.
to point out is in that video,
finally
he's
got
using
one.
the raid shotgun. Yeah, right. I finally got it. He's using the raid shotgun that has 1-2 punch, right? I don't have that shotgun. So I was doing this without the 1-2 punch. So basically on boss damage, it's not great because you can't proc that second melee hit to hit harder on a boss for some reason. Maybe I was doing it wrong. I don't know. But I was sitting there wailing on a boss with melee. Nothing happened. I just kept hitting him with standard melees. But as far as ad clearing goes, absolutely, dude. The 2 hits with a dodge and 2 hits and a dot, clearing out entire groups of ads way too fast. I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Even if you don't have that shotgun that he has, it's still phenomenally good for clearing out, ads and majors. So
is that something that can roll? Yeah, because a 1-2 punch will give you. Hitting an enemy with every pellet of a shot increases the melee damage for a short duration.
Yes.
So it looks like it could roll on the Emperor's Courtesy shotgun, and it says it can randomly roll on the Last Man Standing as well. At least that's what Light GG tells me. So
that must have been updated because I looked at Light GG the other day to see what other shotguns I could get it on, and it only had the Emperor's.
Apparently, that's like the God roll, but then I guess it can roll in the Last Man Standing from Gambit Prime, so you at least have a chance to get it on there. So yeah, if you don't have the raid shotgun, give it a shot on the Gambit Prime weapon.
Well, it's not on one of the 5 of those that I've got, so
you're gonna need 7. Oh, do I? And I'm gonna check because I have a Last Man Standing in my vault right now, and I'm just curious. No such luck. Anyway,
what are you talking about? No such luck. You don't use the Hunter anyway.
But I could.
Can you though? Isn't that against your Titan moral code or something?
I just don't have enough.
Never said that we were limited to just one character. You said
no. I play a good character and a half. I just don't have time or desire to do everything 3 times. If I could do 3 different things on 3 different characters, I would. But grinding through the same thing on 3 characters just seems like insanity.
It's not great. Oh,
yeah. And then speaking of grinding and insanity, Ninja Pups has the fastest methods for upgrading Solstice armor, including wasted cheese steps, tips for your 2019 title. And if you watch the video and then look under the video, there's an additional bunch of comments beneath that with additional tips and tricks. So Ninja Pups has a whole bunch of ways to make this easier. And of course, he points out, as everyone else has, and Bungie has made the mini boss step a lot easier, because that was... Those of us who got through the 100 mini boss kills, I will admit I cheesed about 45 of them because I just couldn't anymore. I had everything else done. I'm like,
because you ran into me while we were doing it, and I went,
ran into you and
this cheese? Let's do this cheese now.
Yeah, and you're like, let's do the cheese. And I think we loaded into an EAZ map with the guy who was alone, and we realized he was at the boss, and we realized it was the right boss, and we're like, friend, let's cheese this engineer together. So.
And you know what then Peroty did? He hit 100 and he went, right, peace, I'm out of here. Then took us to orbit. He didn't leave me there to finish my 100 boss kills. No, he decided he was going to orbit, and then he forgot that he was the leader and took me with him.
So I almost did that to Andy. I almost did that same thing to Andy.
This is why you don't give me the power. Don't give me leadership. I'm not used to having the power. So when you give it to me, bad things are going to happen.
So another part of our tips and tricks, make sure if you've hit 100, you are not the team lead.
Right. If you're leaving because your wife is telling you it's time to go, make sure you give the lead to somebody else. Also, the invite and kick buttons are very close together. Those are different.
That has happened many a times.
I bet.
Whoever put those together in the UI is just laughing maniacally somewhere. I hope they have a counter of the number of times that somebody gets kicked from a fire team and then
immediately invited back.
Right, and then immediately invited back, or then the next like string of words that is all just profanity. It's like, yep, got another one. All right, good job. Yeah, so those are all my builds. So Respawn said he had like 57 hunter builds ready for us this week to tell us all about. Or I know Nitedemon been away trying to desperately negotiate, a clean Brexit plan. So I know you don't have much for us this week, but that's okay.
Respawn, we're going to give you your intro music to your rant, but you go ahead and give us your builds.
All right, cool.
Respawn's build reports.
So what Respawn's going to do now, he's going to give you 3 builds that we've spotlighted over the last couple of weeks. And he's going to pretend that he's made these up and basically not give credit to where credit's due for these, where the contents come from, or the content creators. So he's just going to blurt out all these different builds that we know that we've highlighted, and you probably know because you've listened to the podcast, unlike him. So you can basically skip ahead 5 minutes just to avoid all this rubbish, all this drivel, and get to the end.
So I'm going to keep it short and sweet because there's not a whole reason to get into this. First thing is going to have to do with the liar's handshake, right? Because I finally got it, so I can finally listen to the dogs barking in the other room. That's great. Thank you. Shut up!
It's like they knew. They waited. They waited for your moment. And they're like,
an hour and a half.
We got this.
Your moment.
Right. All right. So the first thing is going to be quick and easy. It's going to be liar's handshake, top tree arc strider for the hunter. Like we were talking about earlier, it's best if you have a 1-2 punch shotgun. However, if you don't have a 1-2 punch shotgun, I use the escalation protocol shotgun, or you could use a threat level, right? Because you're going to be meleeing anyway, or any shotgun that's got swashbuckler and grave robber. That's also really good too, right? So because you're going to be meleeing enemies anyway, might as well have a shotgun that's going to give you extra damage for doing exactly that, right? Not going to be great for boss damage. Going to be phenomenal for clearing out groups of ads, and it's also going to be really good against the majors, right? So that's for the arc hunter. And then there's 2 different builds for the solar hunter. These I've probably gone over before. If I have, you're going to hear them again, so shut up. Specifically for Gambit, okay? I'm saying this specifically for Gambit, right? And it's
Gambit
the
Prime?
OG. Nope, just regular Gambit. OG
Just
Gambit.
Gambit. Got it.
Yep. And more specifically,
Why not Prime?
because I'm going to get to that. It's got to be the 3rd round in Gambit, right? So this is how this works. If you're playing Gambit, use a hunter, use your middle tree solar, and use the shards of Galanor. I know what everybody's saying. It's nerfed. That's right. It is nerfed. But you're not really playing for what it's going to give you back. What you're doing is you're playing for the just in case you make it to the 3rd round scenario, right? So you want to play to win the 1st round. If you can win the 1st round, you can skate the rest of the matches, because what's going to happen is when you get to the 3rd round, I don't know what causes this glitch, but the Shards of Galanor in the 3rd round of Gambit, once you unleash your Blade Barrage, if you hit literally anything, you don't even have to kill. If you just hit an enemy, in about 1.5 seconds, you'll get your super right back again. So you can literally spam Blade Barrage at a boss. So I jump in the air, I throw Blade Barrage. By the time I land on the ground, assuming I haven't fallen into lava, I have my Blade Barrage back. So you can literally just spam it in the 3rd round of Gambit Prime. I don't know why it's only in that round that it does it, but, it's a thing. And I know it has to do with the Shards of Galanor, because if you don't have Shards of Galanor, you can't spam Blade Barrage like that in the 3rd round. And if you die, you have to wait for it to charge up normally. So there is something with the Blade Barrage. It is a glitch, and 3rd round of Gambit is phenomenal. All the other rounds of Gambit, believe it or not, it's a build that I mentioned a couple weeks ago with the bottom tree, Golden Gun, and the Celestial Nighthawk, paired with the Bad Juju. And what's going to happen is you're going to use the Nighthawk pretty liberally, right? You can just kind of let it fly, because if you kill something with your golden gun, it's going to give you 30% back immediately. And then the bad juju will get you your super back in another minute or two, and then you could fire it off again, right? So it's really great for killing a whole bunch of majors, whole bunch of ads, whole bunch of anything really quickly. And another thing that it does is if you kill an enemy, not only do you get 30% of your super back, but it also detonates the enemy to blow them up, which hopefully will blow up a group of enemies. So yeah, short and sweet. 3 builds to use for 3 different scenarios, and that's basically it. Now the bottom tree solar hunter, I say Gambit and Gambit Prime, you can really use that anywhere with the meta the way it is right now, right? So if you're not using Tether, I would go bottom tree golden gun. That's just me, but yeah, have at it.
Excellent. So, Nitedemon, anything you want to share with us before we call it a day, call it a night, call it a weekend?
It's definitely a weekend. And don't call me Shirley.
Nobody
Sounds
called
great.
you Shirley.
I won't tell you to go see Zer, but go see Zer.
No, you can tell people to go and see Sir, because we might have this out by Monday, which means that people can still go and see Sir before reset.
Okay, well, I didn't want to tell
I
people.
last week's in.
I didn't want to tell people to go see Zer if they were going to miss their shot at Zer. But yeah, hunters should go see Zer this week. And as soon as the band chat opens, I will tell them why. Why is the band app so bad on a computer? I don't understand.
It's because you have Shards of Galanor with enhanced reload speed on a hand cannon. That's why.
It is. So yeah. So Zer is selling the colony this week. Whatever. Yeah. Shards of Galanor with both enhanced hand cannon loader and enhanced impact induction. So if you want to shoot people with hand cannons or throw grenades, also bow reloader because reasons. He said he has the ACD 0 force, ACD 0 feedback fences for the Titans with momentum transfer, sidearm loader, pulse rifle loader. Who cares? And he has the chromatic fire for warlocks. Nothing really exciting there either. The only thing enhanced this week is the 2 things on the Shards of Galanor. So hunters, go pick up your Shards of Galanor. It also has rocket launcher scavenger and sniper rifle scavenger. So if you're hand cannoning, sniper rifling, throwing grenades, you're good to go. So yeah, go pick those up. Zer has brought you many fancy things. Warlocks, sorry, you still get nothing enhanced. Zer apparently is not a fan of the warlocks. Don't know why. Don't understand it.
Last week, didn't you get the one-eyed match with like enhanced hand cannon targeting or something? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, which helps the warlocks out. How?
No. I'm just saying, like, I was making sure that the Titans did get something that was enhanced, and you weren't just being a smartass.
Yeah, the Titans have gotten enhanced things, and the warlocks have got, or the hunters have, but the warlocks largely have not gotten much enhanced, which is too bad. Yeah, no. Last week I looked at Twitter because I look at Twitter about the time that Zer comes because I follow something that tells me when he shows up and what he has with him, and then the entire world just exploded because he had enhanced hand cannon targeting on a one-eye mask or pump action or pulse rifle targeting.
I don't know what you're saying.
Special ammo
I
finder.
did leave it in last week for you, just to make you feel special, even though Respawn decided to take the DAG approach and tell you not to.
No, I didn't decide. I just said that if you were there,
did.
you would have told him not to do it. So I was just being devil's advocate.
Double tricked you and left it in.
Oh,
Good job. So yeah. So if you miss a one-eye mask, sad for you. Don't miss the Shards of Galanor this week.
You know what I'm sad for?
What are you sad
Respawn. I haven't heard Respawn say his thing this week. Respawn, could you say your thing for me?
He did say it 4 times last week and has a dance video to prove it.
I know.
Normally I'd say I don't know what you're talking about, but this time I genuinely don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I believe
I've come up with this new thing. Like, this new thing is basically every time you decide to swear, whether it's a slip up or it's on purpose, you say something completely different. There's no dolphins, there's no dogs, there's no pigs, there's no farmyard. You just give us a little ditty, a little song. Something
How Monty Python of you.
A little ditty. I have a little ditty. Is it like the nights you say
meat? Smile. It's very similar.
Oh yeah. Now I am actually going to have to listen to last week's, man. I was going to wait till the flight because I have a long flight to Canada.
Did you not listen to the show? Have you watched your music video at least?
No,
I made a music video
I'm
Just
2
for
weeks
you.
behind because I knew I was going to be going to Canada this week, so I'm saving it for the flight.
Oh, friends. I don't say this often because the YouTube video is mostly just the podcast with some subpar Titan gameplay behind it. But if you're going to watch any version of the podcast, watch last week's. Episode 28 is really just, I think it's my finest work yet. And most of my work is crap, so it's not really a high bar to hit. But it's some pretty great YouTube work. Kids, this is why you don't want to be a YouTuber. It's a lot of work. But last week's, it's really something special. There is a Respawn dance breakdown that happens no fewer than 4 times.
What?
4 times. There is a Respawn dance breakdown and song to go with it. It is a music video.
Like,
And
am
one
I
of these
dancing
days-
or?
Oh, yes.
You're definitely dancing.
I'm dancing. Oh, okay.
You're dancing. I'm dancing. We're dancing. I'm not going to say like on beat, but pretty close. I think I did a pretty good job. So,
And
yeah,
if
I didn't think you
anyone's
guys had footage of me
interested,
dancing.
if anyone's interested and they want a copy of the, let's say it's the Respawn ringtone, Respawn's ringtone.
What?
If you'd like a copy of Respawn's ringtone,
Hold on.
just get in contact with us and I'll email you a copy of it. I don't mind. Free of charge.
I don't know what ringtone he's talking about, but
the more
whatever
people
it
that have
is,
this ringtone, I don't
I
mind.
strongly
sharing
disagree.
it. Free of
it is
charge for anyone.
it is absolutely worth it to have this ringtone in your phone in your life when someone calls you to have Respawn sing to you, because it's really just a phenomenal piece of work.
It's not a thing. Don't do it. It's a trap.
Oh, it absolutely is.
It's
Oh,
not a thing.
actually, yes. Before we go, I wanted to give a thank you for your email. I don't know. Should we say his
gamer tag.
gamer tag?
Yeah, go with gamer tag.
I wouldn't know how to say his gamer tag. I did look it up to see what it was.
Well, now you put yourself on the spot, so now you've got to come through.
Uh-huh.
You've got to pull this out in the clutch.
It's translated. He's got a Latin gamer tag. It's Quares non, and translated into English, it is what is not, which I thought was quite fantastic.
I thought it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for your lovely email.
Yeah. And I went ahead and I'm talking because I can't hear you talking. So if you're saying something, I cannot hear you. Actually,
And that's what I
can't
said to him, because of that.
Holy crap. You just went silent for like 20 seconds. Did you hear that, Peroty, or was he talking on your mic?
Yeah.
I don't know what he was talking about because, he sent me several emails and...
Yeah, we lost your entire...
Yeah.
Whatever you were just saying about his email, we completely lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I emailed him back and just said,
gone.
This and that, and...
Can he not hear us? Hello?
I'm just messing with you.
I was just going to say, I was like, now he's messing with us.
I was messing with him from the beginning when you said about the silence. Sorry.
It's gone on. I was like, it's gone long enough now. I know he's messing with us.
No, I'm messing
Okay.
with you. Sorry, Reese.
now-
Go ahead.
No, I was just
You
saying,
messaged
like,
him. Yes.
I messaged him and I went ahead and sent him a friend request because he asked for us to give a friend request. And you said that all I'm going to do is berate him for, the first 30 seconds. And I said, no, I'll give him 10 minutes of actual
No.
playtime.
That was a private chat between you and me. I didn't say
I
you
know.
were going to berate him. I just said,
And also,
just
I'd just like
be
to point
nice
out
to
that-
people. Be
that
nice to people.
he sent me a friend request that I then, in turn requested him as a friend back. I didn't have to ask. He came to me because he knows the nice people and he knows people he doesn't want to associate with.
Listen,
so
you're
I just
probably
wanted to find
right.
out.
But
And
at
I
the
do feel
same
bad
time-
because I've been unable to
Listen.
play much this week. So I have done nothing with this information, but it was a really lovely email and thank you. So people do email us. It's lovely. We enjoy hearing from you. You
Right.
should email the show. You should tweet us at the show. You should
Because
tell
we
us
will
things.
respond. We are just normal people that read every email that comes in and respond.
We really are. We get very
And we
excited.
do play with anyone, normally,
No, really, anyone. I mean, you've seen us try to raid anyone.
Yes.
We,
Yeah.
And in response to your last email, yes, we do kind of try and raid when we can try and raid, if we can get enough people together.
Right.
if we have
No,
the
but
requisite number
talking
of
to you, Peroty-
rocket launchers and suicides.
Yes.
Talking to you, Peroty, you said he sent you a friend request. And I'm just saying, I don't know if that was before or after I sent him one, but that's something that we should find out. Yeah.
Oh, I think it was definitely before.
No, I don't
No,
think so.
he sent me an email just now. He said no.
No, what?
Oh, well.
He didn't want to friend you.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I'm gonna go. Well, Nitedemon will edit this out anyway. But since still apparently nobody wants to have more people in their clans, they're all very happy in the clans they're in. They're all delighted to not have any more clan friends. Maybe they're in just the D2 of us, like Nellis and Brizzle were, or was it Queen Anne's? No, I've forgotten. Oh well. Nellis, I know you're driving. Absolutely. Just the two of them. So apparently nobody wants to join our clan. Nobody wants to have a clan. No, not join our clan. We're full. We don't want you. We're good here. You have a clan. No, I kid. Come join the Frozen Clan. Don't join the Frozen Clan. Go join the Guardian Hub Clan. Join a clan. You need a clan to do 5 strikes with to finish out your Majestic Armor Masterwork. You need to have a clan. So
or if you want to, spotlight a clan, send Peroty the information.
Yeah, I'm going to spotlight a clan. All right. I'm going to spotlight a clan that may not want to be spotlit. So I'd like to spotlight Ronald's Hot Dog Club because it's a phenomenal name and it made me laugh really hard when I saw it. So Ronald's Hot Dog Club, because hot dog, hot daily dog. It's a brand new day. What you waiting for? Right. And which is more or less the entire description. So these are people I can get behind. Also, honey bunches of moats.
What kind of plan is that? Is that on Xbox?
I'm going to tell you it's at least on Xbox because these are people I've run into. Honey bunches of moats, which again makes me amused to read. A clan looking to bring people together and create a fun place for everyone to come and find others. So go hit them up. They, are PvP and PvE. They're here mostly on Xbox. Be active. They say if you're inactive for more than 3 days, you'll be removed from the clan. So honey bunches of moats. And also heart surgery for the win. Go with the flow. Heart surgery for the win. Go join them. It's a hilarious name. I like it. If you don't want to be featured, too bad. You're featured now. Almost 90 minutes is all out. And also, I did run into Christ Hamster from the Christ Hamster clan this week. So I assume he is the Christ Hamster in a PvP match. So yeah, he has a clan. It might be just him. I have no idea.
So if you want to join those clans, please tell them that Peroty sent you from 2 Titans and a Hunter.
Exactly. And they'll be
explain
and
why
and what
you've joined them. Yes.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise it will be completely random.
I take all blame for all of these things.
I can't believe you've done that. I can't believe you like you said you were going to do. I know you said you were going to do it. I just can't believe you've gone and done it.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say you have a funny clan name, so I'm going to tell people to go join your clan because why not?
Your challenge for next week is to find 3 funny clans from PC and 3 from PlayStation.
Give me a minute. We got this. We can make this happen.
Not a minute. Just do 3 next week from one or the other.
Just next week. This is a challenge I readily accept. This is going to be amazing.
Or do one of each. One PC, one Xbox, one.
See, this is what happens if you don't contact us. He goes and makes these things up for you.
I don't make them up. These clans all exist. They exist. They're real clans. They might be full. They might not want you, but hey, they're out there in the world. They're clans. Who doesn't need more people in clans?
Yeah,
that's right.
This isn't the way it was meant to be done.
Says
until people do it properly, this is the way we're going to do it.
That's right, man.
So if you don't want your clan to be featured, reach out to us and tell us, and we will absolutely feature you. Or maybe
wait, that's really, backwards.
It's hard to say. If you're like, no, I'm good. My clan is full. I don't want you anymore. Then hey, reach out to us. Let us know, and we will send more people your way. So it can
be like 30 minutes long this week.
Oh yeah.
We say that every week. I have stopped saying this is going to be a short episode, even if it's like the TWAB's like, hey, there's a game. It's called Destiny. You should go play it. That could be the entire TWAB, and there would still be 45 pages of notes, and a respawn will talk for an hour and a half. It doesn't matter.
No, he's been quite good this week. I mean, last week I gave you 9 pages. This week you've given us 11, and one of you've got a couple of pictures in there.
Yeah, and there's pictures, so it's not even really fully 11. Yeah. Yeah, the 12. I thought I'm waiting for this Luke Smith post that's already 4,100 words long, so that should be I figure
you're reading that. You're gonna have to put your little reading glasses on, your little smoking pipe, your smoking jacket, and sit in the chair and open the book and read it to us children.
I have absolutely recorded like almost a full hour of me sitting in the tower at the table with the coffee mug and flames just for this exact purpose. So I am prepared for this. I am ready.
Brilliant.
This is going to be great. Since I can't get a posh British, smoking pipe and red leather chair, I do what I can. My emote options are limited.
I think they can get them in Canada.
Well, there we go.
There you go, Respawn.
Respawn, check it out for us.
I'm not doing that.
And as always, this week, thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your hunter is no one respawns in real life. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. Please send us your clans. We want to know. We want to send people towards you. We want to help spread the love. Hit us up on Twitter, twotitans_hunter. Find us on Facebook. Hit us up on Instagram. Go to Nitedemon's house and tell him about all the great clans you have. You can join the Frozen clan at join.frozen.party. Although, again, send us your clans. Find your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live. Watch the show on YouTube, especially last week's. Listen to the show on Podcoin, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are sold. And now that the heat has melted our brains, we have recorded the pods. And the moment we hit stop on this recording, Luke Smith is going to publish his post. So until next week, Guardians, say goodbye to your favorite celebrity.
Goodbye, favorite celebrity.
Hello to Jason Isaacs. Howdy.
I'm just salty because my brother had his wedding in Tucson, Arizona in August. Outside in full tuxedos. Ryan, if by chance you are listening to this, you're a dumbass. Moving on.
That is definitely being left in.